Hey friends, welcome back. I am so excited to have you here. If you haven't already, take 5 seconds and go join the Live with Audacity Facebook group. We've got a ton of fun things going on in there the rest of the year, so jump in there and let's get to know each other. I show up in there pretty often and have developed personal relationships with so many members already, and I want to know you too, so come on, come get with it. Okay, today you're listening to episode number 49. Oh, I can't even believe it. Today's a big day too. There are a few changes coming to the podcast that I wanted to let you know about. As you all know, we have spent the last 7 months in a pandemic. I can't even believe that. It's been so hard. Some days have been super awesome, and some days have been downright awful, horrible, and icky. It reminds me of that book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Yeah, that's exactly what it's been like. But I was no stranger to the toll the pandemic has taken on my mental health. I did not come out of this unscathed one bit. Wait, are we even out of this yet? No, doesn't look like it. But you know what we are out of? The lull in this podcast. Whoop, whoop. I am so excited because today I want to tell you about the plans for moving the podcast forward. I'm so excited. Now, being an Audacity coach puts me in communities with tons of other amazing coaches, and they all have their specific niche, right? And that's a lot of what you've heard on this podcast up until now, and they've all been incredible. And I do still have some in the works, so don't be thinking that I'm done with that altogether. But moving forward, I want to expand our views a bit more. I want to have people on with even more inspiring stories, no matter their walk of life or their business direction. Of course, I want to keep giving you incredible, tangible tips for how to move your own needle as well. But this advice can come from so many places, though, and so I am breaking down the barriers for all of us. If you have someone you think has a great story or something they've overcome or are just really inspiring, please send them my way. I would love to talk to them here on the podcast. Another thing you can look forward to are more solo episodes. I am so excited and ready to start coaching on this podcast and talk to you about how to change your life. I've done it. I know lots of other women who have done it, and now I want to help you do it too. Lastly, I am moving the podcast to have new episodes go live on Wednesdays rather than Mondays. Not a huge change or shift, but it makes my job a smidge easier as a podcaster. So let's dive into today's episode. You're listening to the Live with Audacity podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Stewart. Audacity is defined by Merriam-Webster as intrepid boldness or disregard for normal constraints. And that's exactly what we have here. The Live with Audacity podcast is aimed at giving you the courage to explore your someday dreams, do things your way, and start making things happen in your life right now. I'm a mama to 4 kiddos ranging from college student to kindergartner, wife to a high school football and track coach, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Together with my guests, we're going to teach you how to live with audacity and intentionality, discover and utilize your unique skills and talents, and step into who you are meant to be in order to make your someday dreams a reality. Are you ready? Here we go. Today, I'm going to start at the beginning and talk about thoughts. Okay, tell me if this sounds true. Your reality is determined by a set of decisions that you've made in your life. Yes, that is correct. So, how do we start changing our reality to be more of what we want? Well, we start by making the right decisions. And you're thinking, duh, Melissa, of course I'd make the right decisions if I knew what they were. So, how do we start making the right decisions when we feel like we've been making the wrong ones for so long? And I want to stop here for just a moment and let you know, I have been there. I have made all the bad decisions. Oh gosh. I got married when I knew that's not what I wanted. I took jobs because I was desperate. I stayed in relationships because I was scared of being financially burdened. And all the air quote bad decisions I made were because I thought nothing better was coming or I didn't deserve anything better than what I was offered. And I put bad in air quotes because I don't necessarily believe that decisions are bad or good. They are really just right or not right for us. And that's how I feel about that. So how do we start making the right decisions? Well, you change your perspective. Your perspective is the way it is because of the experiences, thoughts, and beliefs you have about the world and how it operates and where your place is in all of it. So, how the heck do we change our perspective? Great question. You change your experiences by changing your thoughts and belief. Your perspective is based on your experiences, right? So, if you can change your thoughts and belief to change your experiences, you thereby change your perspective. Lord have mercy, Melissa. Just get to the point. I know. But I need you to see how everything is related and affects the next thing down the line. So, your thoughts and your beliefs affect your experiences, affect your perspective, affect your actions and decisions, affect your reality. In order to change your life, you have to change your thoughts. Your thoughts dictate every single thing you do, believe, say, thereby determining the people you interact with, how you do so, the jobs you take, the salary you accept, the home you live in, the neighborhood you chose, the friends you have, the spouse you have, etc., etc., etc. Did you know that 95% of your thoughts are the same exact thoughts every day? Can you believe that? I waste 95% of my time thinking the same exact thing as I thought yesterday. That seems really inefficient, right? Well, did you know that of all the thoughts you have every single day, 80% of them are negative and repeating? Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. So basically, I'm repeating all the negative thoughts that I have all day, every day, again and again and again. That sucks, right? Okay, so how do we ever get anywhere successfully? It's mind-blowing, right? But one thing that most people don't understand is that they have the power to choose what their thoughts are. We usually just coast through the day, letting our thoughts come as they please. The other day I was talking to someone and they kept saying, I need more money and bad luck just keeps following me everywhere. And I said, okay, every time you remember to, over the next 45 days, tell yourself, money flows easily and freely to me, and then tell me what happens. And they said, you can't just think good things will happen, and they do. I said, yeah, you're right. So what can it hurt, though? What can it hurt if you just think good thoughts instead of thinking about how stuck you are? And they said, well, I don't have the brain power or the energy to think about that. Okay, but you have the brain power and energy to think about how broke you are and how bad things keep happening to you? So we changed the conversation, mostly because it made them really uncomfortable to think that they could change their situation so easily. So, what are you focused on that is not serving you? If you've ever seen the documentary, The Secret, it seems so easy to just think new thoughts and have new beliefs, but it so isn't. A lot of times, these thoughts are a byproduct of our experiences we've had as children. Whether they're from things we went through with our parents, a teacher, a coach, or whatever, it all affects us in the long run. This is why psychologists say the first 7 years of a child's life is the most important, because it really has an effect on who the person becomes as an adult. Oftentimes, we don't realize that the things we believe about ourselves and our world are derived from our childhood experiences. This is why having a coach is so important. A coach can help you dig into where your thoughts come from and help you change your perception of that event. So the way that I look at it is I can talk to my girlfriends, or I can talk to friends, or I can talk to my husband about my history and things, but they are not trained to help me dig deep into where these thoughts come from. But coaches generally are trained in how to get you to dig down a little bit deeper. So as kids, we often see snippets of things from our perspective and then replay them over and over again in our head, and sometimes add or remove things that change the story from the reality that really took place. And then it plays in our heads over and over and over again, and then becomes solidified as fact in our brains. Has this ever happened to you, where you tell someone a story from your childhood and then someone else that was there looks at you and says, yeah, that's not exactly how that went down. And you're like, what? No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. And they're like, no, but here's the real story. And then that person sheds a little more light on what was really going on at that time. And you think, wow, how the heck did I miss that? I had no idea. It happens a lot more than we would like to think. So what I do is I help my clients see where that story is coming from and try to see it from other perspectives. A lot of people call this rewriting the story, but I don't necessarily believe it's rewriting the story, but more than that, it's seeing the whole picture. Seeing the whole picture helps us to realize most of the time the story that's standing in our way and holding us back isn't really even true at all. There may be parts of the story that are still true and hurtful, but a lot of times when we see the whole big picture, our perspective changes on the hurtful parts. We start to understand the why behind others' actions. This is important because when we understand why people behave in certain ways, we can show more love, more grace, more forgiveness, and release the hurt that we've been keeping bottled up for so long. This helps us change our thoughts and feelings about events and people in our lives. Okay, so now that we've changed our thoughts on events from our past, how do we continue to change our thoughts each day? Can our brains even be changed? Absolutely. Have you ever heard of the experiment where you put two plants in different locations and play light, joyful, happy tunes for one and angry, heavy, pounding music for the other? And the one listening to the light, joyful tunes grows 20% more. It's so cool, right? I'm definitely going to try this experiment with my kids. I'm so excited. But it's not the music. Plants don't have ears. It's the vibration the music puts out. Vibrations are energy. Energy is everywhere. Literally, everything and everyone and even nothingness has energy. This is why woo people talk so much about energy and raising your vibe. When you're high vibe, you're in a state of pure happiness and joy. You're ready to take action and you're motivated. This is why when you go to that network marketing conference, you're on cloud nine. You can take on the world. You listen to all the really awesome music and all the excitement that all the speakers have. But when you go home to your own thoughts and struggles, you're like, what the heck happened? Things got so hard. That's what happened. Then, because we haven't realized it's our thoughts that manage our vibe, our thoughts start to spiral and our vibe gets lower and we get more and more stuck. It's a vicious cycle. But when you take the time to dig into what your thoughts are, where they're coming from, why you're feeling like you're not making progress, you can really start to change your thoughts. And then your circle of energy starts to change, and then your worldview starts to change. And the coolest part is when you start to change, the people around you start to change too. And it's so beautiful. Are you ready to change your vibe? Change your thoughts. It's simple, but it is not necessarily easy. I'm here for you, friend. That's all I have for y'all today. If you've got something out of this episode or have thoughts, share this episode on social and tag me in it. I would love to hear from you. It would mean so much to me. Okay, y'all have an incredible week. I'll meet you back here next Wednesday. Hey, y'all. I had to jump in here real quick because I need a favor. If you are loving the Live with Audacity podcast, I need you to do me a big solid favor and share it with your friends, share it on social media, and go to the Apple iTunes link and click subscribe, rate it, review it. I need to know your feedback, and I want to keep putting this out for you, so I really need your help to get the message out. Thank you so much for your loyalty and your super kind and sweet words. They mean so terribly much to me.